Which is better for drifting, 900 degrees of steering rotation or 1080? This is a question every drifter has thought about, and thanks to Moza for sending over their CS V2P steering wheel and SRP2 pedals, which now gives me the full R9 V3 bundle, which you can find in the description for 5% off, we can finally find the answer to that question. So today, I'll be testing both 900 degrees and 1080 back to back to see if the extra degrees of rotation makes me a better drifter. Alright, so we're finally back in the forward S routine. And we're going to get a baseline of what I usually run, which is 900 degrees rotation. And you'll see just how many corrections I make. Fourth, flick it in, little handbrake. Oh, left foot brake. Hitting the wall a bit. But you see me almost over rotating sometimes. And really just my angle being kind of all over the place. I wanted to get a good lap with both rotations so we can watch them side by side to see if there's actually any type of difference. Look, just so many corrections there. Left foot braking a little bit on entry. Oh, see, sometimes I can't stay at a solid angle. 900 degrees of rotation is just very twitchy. You can make a very small input and the car will make huge corrections. The angle is just wavering so much. And the inconsistent angle is a lot more noticeable during the longer sweeping turns. Take this turn, for example. I transition coming into the inner clip, and I'm making not even a quarter of a turn to the left, and the car starts to straighten, causing me to make a huge correction to the right just to stay in drift. Eventually, I got a decent run with 900 degrees of rotation. Better entry. There we go. Hold it. Like, I gotta really move the steering wheel quickly as well. Oh, barely getting that zone there. Oh, okay. This run wasn't good by any means. I missed my mark in many of the zones. But viewing this as a baseline lap, you can see the amount of corrections I'm making. The car just isn't stable. And this is exactly what causes me to lose points. Sometimes I'm about to straighten and sometimes I'm about to over-rotate. So let's switch the degrees to 1080 and see if it will smooth out those wrinkles. Alright, so now moving on to Moza Pit House. Something cool that Moza does is that you can change the degrees of rotation of the wheel. So I usually run 900. And I've always ran 900. I've never ran anything else. But now I'm gonna go to 1080 and see what we can do there. All right, so 1080 is just an extra half turn. So instead of a turn and a quarter, which is 900, it's a turn and a half. Oh, okay, the wheel. I'm already noticing I'm holding the wheel a little further to the right. I'm doing relatively well. Oh, going off track just as I say that. I'm used to holding the wheel directly in the middle, but now I'm holding it slightly to the right. And then there we go. Nice. Oh, way smooth on that transition there. Oh, but it's got to rotate a lot more. I got to really help it through the transitions now because it's got so much more to rotate. Man, it's so weird having a different place where the steering wheel doesn't max out at. It doesn't max out where I'm used to. Being so used to full lock being at 900 degrees just kind of threw me off. But as I continued to turn laps, I was starting to get the hang of it. There we go. Going a little further. The biggest learning curve here was just my muscle memory. I was just so used to 900 degrees. So if I'm kind of falling out of drift, or if I got to make a correction, I do have to make a bigger movement with the steering wheel. Man, it's just so much. Just that extra quarter turn makes it so different. Something I realized is that during the long sweeping turns, unlike 900 degrees, 1080 didn't make the car do as much with my smaller inputs. Because like I said before, on 900, the small inputs made huge corrections. I try to avoid being at full lock, but now that I'm at 1080 with the extra quarter turn, where full lock would be at 900, that's no longer full lock anymore. So I gotta get used to going all the way over there now. Oh, that rotated nicely there on that transition. That was a decent lap. I had finally got a decent lap, but I wasn't happy with it. I feel like I still can make less corrections with 1080. Ooh, nice on that wall there. Ah, man. It's hard doing those full lock to full lock transitions. Hold it a little further. There we go, left foot brake. Going off a little bit. It's not there, man. And many attempts later, I finally got a good run. Come on. Nice. Rotate. perfect. By adding a little more angle. Nice, there we go. Left foot brake to get in that zone. Perfect, that's a good lap there. Finally getting a good lap on 1080. It's time to see both laps side by side to see if there's actually any difference. With 900 on the left and 1080 on the right, you can clearly see the difference. The angle on 1080 is so much more consistent. There still are some inconsistencies, but that's more me. But on 900, the angle is just all over the place. So 1080 definitely made me a better drifter because that lap will get a lot more points. So if you're struggling with the same thing and you're using 900 degrees, turn your steering angle up. And if you want to see how I did in a recent sim drifting competition, click the video on the screen now.